Hey everyone, welcome back to Rob Unwraps. Last week I did a video on the Xbox Plug and Play Power Kit, and in that Jake S on the comments asked, what do you think the best overall power kit is? And then he asked about this OtterBox Power Swap Battery Kit. And to be honest with you, I hadn't even heard about it, so I bought one and let's get this unwrapped. Oops.
Earlier this year, we tested out some protective gear for the Xbox controller from OtterBox. Fortunately, since these are just batteries, we didn't put them through such rigor. However, that sure was a lot of fun.
Here we have the Power Swap controller batteries for the Xbox series of controllers from OtterBox Gaming. Some key features to this system is that the reserve energy cell maintains power during swap. You never have to connect your controller to the console to charge ever again. It's optimized for natural controller balance and feel, and the low battery alert illuminates the hands and notifies when to swap. Okay, so this kit works for both the Xbox Series X and S controllers as well as the standard Xbox One controller. And it has a separate backplate for each. We're going to be connecting this to the Xbox Series X and S controller, so we're going to need this one. So as we can see, this is the Xbox Series X and S controller. It's got the share button built in. I already have a Xbox plug and play battery kit in there, so we'll take that out. Step 2 is to take this reserve battery out. So the contacts are facing this direction. And then you want to take the case, get it here. And now it's seated with a nice little click, let you know it's all the way in there. Inside the rest of the kit, we have 2 power cells. Here is an extra set of instructions, even though they're clearly printed on the box. Here's the charging kit itself. Here's USB-C-A to USB-C cable. This is the dock to charge the cells in. It says OtterBox right there. There's USB-C port right here. Plug the charging cord in there. Go ahead and get this protective wrapper off. Get this next one out of the wrapper. Okay, and on the energy cell here, you can see that there are 4 lights indicated there. There's a small connection here. There are 3 contacts right there, which will sit in the charger. These 3 contacts will sit in the charger. Make contact right here for the cell to charge. Take the controller. Slide it in, and it's in there. And to quickly remove it, you press down and just pull it out. And they say it's designed so you can do that one-handed. Yeah, it only took 3 tries and I got it down pretty smooth. Alright, we've got that cell in there. Let's go ahead and actually take this out. Get both of these drop down into the charger, get these batteries charged up, and see how they work out.
First off, thanks to Jake for the suggestion. I really appreciate you bringing these to my attention, so I'll go ahead and take a look at these. So a little bit about the power cell itself. These are a nickel metal hybrid battery as opposed to most of the batteries that we have actually taken a look at, which are lithium ion. These will clip, as you saw earlier. Probably want to do a better job than that. These pop in the controller as such, right? And you're supposed to be able to really quickly, it may take a couple tries. Once those green lights work their way all the way down, indicating that the battery is close to dead, you'll get a red light that flashes under here. Then you're supposed to be able to, one hand, push the button down, take a next cell, swap that in there, and you have 30 seconds to do that before the additional battery in there dies. The weight's great. I was concerned when I first saw pictures of these that this battery would be obtrusive and that it would weigh too much. And it really doesn't. It doesn't feel like it weighs any more than a standard battery or battery pack that you'd have in the Xbox controller. My primary concern with this is I think it's over-engineered and that OtterBox is trying to solve for a problem that doesn't really exist. One of the primary selling points on this is you can quickly swap those cells and you don't have to resync your controller. It's almost rare to nil that you have a controller just die out of the blue on you. So if you're in a gaming session and it's something competitive where there are certain matches, you're gonna have a heads up. The Xbox is gonna tell you that your battery is getting close to dying. So between breaks, you can easily swap those out. Now this also says, hey, you can do it without resyncing the controller. And that's absolutely true. However, you know, when your controller dies and you change the batteries, you don't have to push the button in the back and then go to the Xbox and hold it down to resync them together. You just gotta turn the controller on and hit A and it's resync. It's not that big of a problem. Now, if this package was around the same price as a normal battery set, I'd say, hey, that's pretty cool, you know, that's okay, I get that, I dig that. But as it stands, when I went to buy these and I saw it was $60, I was like, oh, I guess that's for two. I saw the two different cells on there. I didn't register that $60 kit is just for a single controller. So you're looking at $60 in batteries on a $60 controller, maybe 70, like this one if you got your name engraved on it. Maybe you're playing with a scuff controller or something, so you're looking at 160 to 200, but still, I can't help think that OtterBox over-engineered this a little bit too much and put themselves at a price point that really doesn't make this economical sense, even if you're willing to spend however much money you want. This is absolutely a premier product, and at that price point, it's being marketed towards people who have probably a little bit more money to spend. Just because it costs that much more, I don't think it necessarily makes it worth that much more. To me, there's not enough value in that additional $30 and not having to hit the A button to sync my controller back up. When I first popped these out of the box, they didn't have a charge, and that's fine, and most of them have a little bit, but these had none. When I set these on the docking station to charge them, it took an hour and 50 minutes to get both of them to about 3/4 charge. It took 2.5 hours to get these both up to 100% charge. Also, something that's a little interesting is when you have these hooked up to the Xbox, and if you look at the gauge for the battery in the top right corner, even at 100%, these will show that they're at a 50% charge. I don't know if that has to do with the secondary battery that's in there that allows the ability to hot swap those cells, if that's what causes that, and it very well could. But just be mindful of the fact that the status symbol on your console isn't necessarily going to line up with the charge that's on the controller. We've taken a look at some OtterBox products for the Xbox before, and while I agree that they've all been very high quality, I feel that they're really targeting a certain consumer. They're not really looking for a huge market share. They're trying to do what I refer to as skim the cream. And while I don't have anything negative to say about the product itself other than the price, for my money, I don't think it's worth it. But they could be for you. I think this is more or less a situation where OtterBox exaggerates a problem that doesn't necessarily exist, kind of makes a mountain out of a molehill, and then solves for it, and does an elegant job of doing that. But I don't think it's something that people necessarily need. And while it does have novelty to it, and I could say, hey, maybe at $30, this is worth it. At $60, when you can buy kits enough to charge 4 controllers, I don't know that I could really defend that cost for a single controller. I'm Rob, thanks for watching, and remember that if you enjoyed this video or found value from it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because it really helps the channel. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.